Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We're going to begin tonight with breaking news because there may be new hope in the desperate race to find a treatment for coronavirus, and it couldn't come soon enough. President Trump says he is slashing red tape, ordering the FDA to fast-track the use of two drugs for sick patients, though the FDA says it could take months of clinical trials. More than 12,000 people have now tested positive in the U.S. The death toll has risen dramatically, too, up by almost a third in just 24 hours. And experts warn those numbers will continue to spike as more people are tested. Late today, the State Department told Americans living abroad they should come home immediately, just as Italy's death toll surpassed China's. And on Wall Street today, an update. The markets were stable, but there is concern that the economy is in free fall with unemployment claims now flooding in. And here in the nation's capital, they're calling in the National Guard to help with testing as the Surgeon General issues a nationwide call for people to donate blood. There is a lot of news tonight, and we have a team of correspondents to cover it all. We're going to begin tonight with Ben Tracy at the White House. And Ben, the president sounded hopeful about these new drugs.
He did, Nora, and he's putting a lot of pressure on the FDA to fast-track anything that might be a treatment for coronavirus. And today he says there may be two drugs.
I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it could be a game changer. And maybe
President Trump calls it a tremendous breakthrough. Two existing drugs that are showing promise in treating coronavirus in hospital patients around the country. One, called remdesivir, is used to treat Ebola patients, but still needs FDA approval. The other, hydroxychloroquine, is already available, used to treat malaria and arthritis since the 1950s.
The nice part is it's been around for a long time. So we know that if things don't go as planned, it's not going to kill anybody.
Both drugs are currently in clinical trials for coronavirus, meaning there is still no proven treatment for the illness. The president is frustrated by what he sees as red tape holding up experiments to find one. But the head of the FDA says the agency also needs to make sure these drugs are used safely.
What's also important is not to provide false hope. We may have the right drug, but it may not be in the appropriate dosage form right now, and that may do more harm than good.
The University of Minnesota is launching a trial this week to see if the anti-malaria drugs can be used not just to treat coronavirus in sick patients, but actually prevent it in people who have been exposed but are not yet ill.
There's some data to suggest that if you're taking hydroxychloroquine and you're exposed to the virus, that the infection won't take hold. And that's the trial that we're doing. We want to see if that drug can prevent the infection from occurring.
There are nearly 100 trials for treatments and vaccines underway around the world. Here in the U.S., 3 people in Seattle have been injected with an experimental vaccine, but a widely available version is not expected for at least a year. Now, these efforts to treat coronavirus with existing drugs is considered a stopgap measure for the next 3 to 6 months, and then they're hoping they can refine other treatments. Nora?
Ben Tracy, thank you.